Hey besties, today we are going to dive into the 8 qualities that separate a girlfriend from a wife in a man's head. These qualities are essential to a long-lasting relationship with the man of your dreams. So let's get into it. Number 1, high character, high values. The lies that women have been told since birth is that if you are attractive enough, if you are fit enough, if you are all this enough, then he's going to want to lock you down. He's going to want to marry you. But this is a lie. Of course, yes, you want to be attracted to your partner, and that's essential. But attraction alone will not make a man marry you. For a long lasting relationship, a man wants to see a woman who has high values, someone who's going to have their back when they're not around. Yes, if someone's attractive, maybe he'll date her for a period of time, but it's not enough to develop that deep sense of love with a long-term partner. 2, he has to work to obtain her. Any woman who hands herself over on a silver platter does not make a man want to commit, because then he knows anyone could land that woman. It doesn't take anybody special. And remember, men and their egos, they all want to feel special. They want to feel like they earned you, like they are the only man you would commit to. That is why it is critical as a woman to do the inner work, to heal your inner wounds, so you're not projecting those onto other people. When you seek validation in a man, you're in for a rough ride. Because once you seek anything outside yourself to validate you, then you're at its mercy. And you never want to be at a man's mercy for your identity or your validation. Remember, healed girls are hot girls. When you do the inner work and you love yourself, foster love from within instead of outside of you, then a man meets you and he's like, wow, she's different. Because when you are no longer seeking things outside yourself to fill the voids within yourself, it makes you magnetic, because then you protect yourself and you don't let just any schmuck that you meet into your energy. And therefore, a man has to work to date you. He has to earn a spot in your well-rounded life because you don't really need him. And remember, the less you need a man, the more they need you. It literally always works that way. But the irony in all this is that men love women like this. They love having to earn her. Because remember, it's like a first place trophy. If he has to work to get her, he assumes her value must be higher. If she just hands herself over to anyone who says he loves her, that's like a participation trophy. It doesn't make anybody feel special. 3, this is a very underrated quality in a human. This is emotional control. If you are on a daily roller coaster of highs and lows and crying and screaming and all these up and downs, a man is not going to see longevity with that. An unhealed man might be attracted to it because he likes drama. He likes the ups and downs. But in a long-term relationship, it's too much drama. And especially a high-value man who has a business to run or is trying to accomplish things in his life, he doesn't have time for the turmoil of an up and down roller coaster relationship. He needs someone who has emotional stability in their life. 4, supportive. A healthy marriage is supportive. It's when I win, you win. That's why it's so critical to do the inner work and heal your insecurities. Because once insecurity is invited into a relationship, then it's when you win, I feel less worthy, or vice versa. And this is a recipe for disaster. But when you have healed those wounds and you are now secure, when your partner wins, you win. 5, being a no person, especially a high value man, he has enough people in his life telling him yes all the time. He's going to want somebody long term who he can use as a sounding board for his ideas. Ideally, the woman in his life is the feminine energy to his masculine, and he wants somebody to bounce ideas off of. And this involves somebody who's going to tell him no, who's going to say, that's not a great idea, or have you thought about this angle? Think about the friends in your life who always tell you yes. When you need real advice, do you go to them? You probably go to them when you want comfort, but when you need real feedback on a situation, you're going to go to the person who isn't afraid to tell you no, because you know that their opinion, it's real. And therefore, it means more. It's not about being extremely combative, because that's where I can see this getting misconstrued. It's more about being constructive, and helping each other achieve your goals even faster. 6, being a problem solver. Immaturity creates more problems. Maturity in a relationship is how can we work through this issue? Let's fix this together. If you are a power couple, which is the ideal, you have bigger fish to fry than each other. A high value man does not want somebody who's creating more issues in his life. He has enough things to deal with. Again, this is all coming back to the team element. You're trying to elevate together. It's about having a solution mindset, not just seeing roadblocks and freaking out. It's seeing a roadblock and also seeing how to solve it. 7 is being versatile. A man wants to know that his wife is going to be able to do all the things he has to do. And that includes dressing up really nice and going to a gala and socializing with his coworkers, but also in the same breath, being able to get down and dirty with their children. Someone who is extremely high maintenance can be a nuisance in the longevity of a life because things are not always daisies, especially in a marriage, you guys. There's going to be times when the house needs renovated, or maybe there's a financial setback, or all of these possibilities that could happen in a lifetime. A man is going to want to know that his wife can be versatile and deal with multiple situations eloquently. And 8, the last one, is being his biggest cheerleader. It's very misconstrued that men who are successful are secure. Some of them are, but the majority of them are insecure. Robert Greene talks about this in his book, 48 Laws of Power. The higher you get, the more insecure you get because you have farther to fall. And if you are dating a successful, high-value man, he needs someone to cheer him on, to support him, to remind him that he's doing a great job when he falters. We are all our biggest critics. And he wants somebody that when he comes home from, say, a board meeting and he feels like he really messed it up, he needs somebody there to tell him, I'm sure you did better than you thought, babe. I'm sure it's not as bad as you're imagining it. You're an incredible leader, and I'm sure the board members see that. This is that warm, feminine energy I always drive home to you guys. Masculine energy is pursuing. It's the punch. Feminine energy is the warm, nurturing energy. Especially in a long-term partner, a man wants somebody who's very nurturing, that warm base to come home to that's going to reinvigorate him after he has a potential loss or perceived loss. And I just want to call out again that all of these qualities have nothing to do with your physical attraction. If that was the case, then every supermodel would be wifed up, and that's not the case. I can tell you guys from my personal experience, I live in New York City. I have a lot of just outlandishly beautiful friends. Now, a lot of them have been through the ringer with men. There is no correlation between a happy relationship with a man and how you look. This is a lie that all women have been fed since birth. Do not feed into it. The moral of the story is that when you do the inner work, you attract a healed partner. Remember, life is like a mirror. The more you heal, the more you attract in people who have also healed. But when you haven't done the inner work and you haven't healed and you dislike yourself, you're going to attract in people who bring in chaos because your internal state is chaos. That is extremely empowering, you guys, because that means attracting in your dream relationship starts with you. It starts with showing up every day and doing the work to heal your internal wounds. The more you love yourself, the higher your self-respect goes, which means the stronger your boundaries are. And I always talk about this. Men love boundaries. Boundaries are so freaking hot to them because the more you respect yourself and love yourself, the more he does too. Men would never articulate it like this, but they want to commit to a woman who loves and respects herself. Very few men, and no healed man for sure, wants to commit long-term to a woman who doesn't love and respect herself. It all starts with you, babe. Do the inner work and watch it be reflected in your 3D reality.